are listening to the Discerning Leader Podcast, brought to you by Leadership Transformations, the podcast that helps you practice a preference for God.
Today's Holy Week reflection features one of our team members, Steve Macchia. May this reading from the Gospel and an excerpt from Outstretched Arms of Grace anchor you in the story and events of the final week of Jesus' life, his death, his burial, and resurrection.
Hear the word of the Lord. A reading from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 14, verses 1 to 11. Now the Passover and the festival of unleavened bread were only 2 days away, and the chief priests and the teachers of the law were scheming to arrest Jesus secretly and kill him. But not during the festival, they said, or the people may riot. While he was in Bethany, reclining at the table in the home of Simon the leper, a woman came with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume, made of pure nard. She broke the jar and poured the perfume on his head. Some of those present were saying indignantly to one another, "Why this waste of perfume? It could have been sold for more than a year's wages and the money given to the poor." And they rebuked her harshly. "Leave her alone," said Jesus. "Why are you bothering her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. The poor you will always have with you, and you can help them anytime you want. But you will not always have me. She did what she could. She poured perfume on my body beforehand to prepare for my burial. Truly, I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." Then Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went to the chief priests to betray Jesus to them. They were delighted to hear this and promised to give him money. So he watched for an opportunity to hand him over. And now a reading from Outstretched Arms of Grace. Silent Wednesday, known more for darkness than light. Many will gather tonight for Tenebrae service, when darkness will descend upon them through the hymns, readings, and reflections, calling for their heart's focus on this mid-week turning point to the drama of Holy Week. The lights are extinguishing as the earthly life and ministry of Jesus is coming to dramatic conclusion. From Wednesday, we descend even further into the dark days of denial, humiliation, and ultimate death on the cross. No turning back. What we do know is that on this day, Judas is preparing to betray Jesus. He agrees to 30 silver coins from the chief priests in order to direct them to Jesus. From then on, Judas is on the watch for an opportunity to hand him over. Darkness is personified in a man with a dastardly deed to complete. The account of Judas's preparation for betrayal is preceded by the story of Jesus in Bethany, reclining at the table of Simon the leper. A woman came with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume. She broke open the jar and poured the perfume on his head. Some of those present were indignant with the waste, and she was rebuked harshly. Judas was one who objected, not because he cared for the poor who could have benefited from selling the perfume, but selfishly for him as a greedy thief. Jesus honors the woman for pouring perfume so extravagantly, calling it a beautiful thing to prepare for my burial. Jesus knew her heart and was pleased with her offering of love. He also knew the heart of Judas and the eventuality of his betrayal. To both individuals, Jesus extends his outstretched arms of grace. As a recipient of loving worship and as inheritor of Judas's projected duplicity and disloyalty. His freedom and faithfulness to offer love no matter what will transpire is a wonderful portrayal of the true Jesus. We are left to presume how the remaining hours of this day are used by Jesus and his followers. One might project him walking peacefully, reflecting prayerfully, watching and waiting, noticing, listening, and preparing himself for the turning points yet to come. While the plot to arrest, convict, and crucify is unfolding all around him, we can only imagine how he's getting prepared for what's to come. That's why the picture of contrast between expensive perfumes being poured out on his head is so diametrically juxtaposed with his friend selling out to the authorities in order to have him handed over to death. Both are essential to his pending death. Both are crucial to the storyline of this dramatic week. Both are hinges to what's to come. Both acts are indispensable to his final sacrificial drama on the cross. Behold him resting peacefully amidst a brewing cauldron of exploitation. Believe in the power of the cross to stampede over death into eternal life. Belong to the ones who know the full story and will mourn only so long, and become transformed from the inside out by the life-changing, unconditional love of Jesus.
The Discerning Leader Podcast is made possible by the generosity of friends like you. To encourage our team with a gift of any amount, please visit leadershiptransformations.org. Send along a note with your gift. We'd love to hear from you. Remember, a listening leader is a discerning leader. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Discerning Leader Podcast.